Hey y'all, welcome back to the kitchen. It is Saturday night here and I need something kind of good for dinner, but I'm also kind of feeling something a little on the easier side. So this is one of my favorites, but I haven't made it in a while. It's a tried and true, it's an oldie but a goodie, and it is white chicken enchiladas. I believe there's only eight total ingredients in this whole recipe. Super quick, super easy to come together. Come along with me and let me show you how to make it. So for my chicken, I'm just using some frozen chicken breasts that we had in our freezer, and I'm just gonna add just a little bit, probably half a teaspoon of Better Than bouillon. I just like the flavor that it adds to boiled chicken. And like I said, this was frozen, but I'm just gonna pop a lid on it, and it's just gonna cook until that chicken is all the way cooked through. All right, first things first, we have about 2 cups of cooked chicken. We just went ahead and cooked this up earlier. And then to our chicken, we have about 2 cups of shredded Colby Jack cheese. And we're just gonna add 1 cup to our chicken. We're gonna save the other half for the top. Now, as far as seasonings, you can really season this up however you want to. I have a little bit of garlic powder. Let's just sprinkle a little bit of that in. Can't go wrong with garlic powder. We're also gonna add just a little cumin. That's gonna really warm everything up in here. And then just a little bit of ground coriander. Let's also do a little bit of salt, just a little bit. My salt thing needs some new batteries. And a little bit of black pepper. Now we're just gonna mix up our chicken, our cheese, and all of our seasonings. All right, next up, I just have a 9x13 here. Let's go ahead and give it a little spray. And then my tortillas of choice, we're gonna use the Mission low carb tortillas. I really love these. I also like the La Banderita, their kind of carb balance version they have. But I feel like the Mission carb balance holds up better in recipes like this. The La Banderita seem to be a little bit more thin, but they are a little bit less calories and I think less carbs too if you're watching that sort of thing. But now we're just gonna take our tortillas. We're gonna put just a couple spoonfuls in each one. I'm just gonna use the pan here to roll it up. And I'm gonna place it seam side down in our baking dish. And I'm gonna continue to do the same thing until I've used up all of our tortillas. One way to kind of gauge your filling is use 4 tortillas for about half of the filling. I know that seems silly, but that's just one thing I have to keep in my mind. That way they'll be even. I think I'm gonna have about 8 tortillas. While I am filling up the rest of these tortillas, I did want to remind y'all that we do have our website up and running. In case you did not know, when you click on the description box now underneath every single one of my videos, there will be a link to every recipe, and all you'll do when you click on that link, it'll take you right to the printable recipe. So when you click on that link, you won't even have to hunt for the recipe, you won't have to scroll down. None of that. When you click on it, it'll take you right to the little pop-up. You can click print recipe, and then you can store it in your stash of recipes. And it is fairly new, so we are still adding recipes that are older, but as we do YouTube videos, this recipe will be in there, and any video that we post that's new, the recipes will be added at the same time, so you can always find them there. Because there's just something about a printed recipe. I guess I'm old school like that. I like to have my recipes printed on paper. All right, next up, we're gonna make our little sauce that's going on top. So to a saucepan, I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of butter. Wasn't quite 2 tablespoons. We're just gonna let this melt down. To our butter, we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. I'm just gonna whisk this around and give this just about a minute or so just to kind of cook out that flour taste. Next up, I have 2 cups of chicken broth. I'm just gonna add it to our saucepan and whisk as I go. And we want this to thicken up. Doing that pretty quickly, add a little bit more chicken broth. And right now, we're just gonna let this continue to cook. I'm gonna stand here and continuously whisk as well, or until this part of the sauce has thickened up. We are not done. We gotta add some more things to this. All right, our sauce has started to thicken up a little bit. Now to this, we're gonna add 1 cup of sour cream. We're also gonna add in 1 of the small cans of chopped green chilies. And then as far as seasonings, I think I'm just gonna add some of those same seasonings that I added with the chicken and the cheese, just a little bit of each one, minus the salt, because we do have a chicken broth base, so that's obviously pretty salty. So I'm just gonna leave the salt out. Go in with our cumin and garlic powder, a little coriander, and now we're just gonna whisk everything together. All right, our sauce is ready to go on top of our tortillas. It's nice and even on there. And I'm gonna make sure all of them are evenly coated. All right, and last but not least, we're gonna bring over that remaining Colby Jack cheese. Add some on top. And also, by the way, to make this go even quicker, if you wanted to do it with rotisserie chicken, this would be a perfect meal for that. All right, this is going to the oven. It's already preheated to 350, and this really just only needs to bake 15 or 20 minutes until everything is warmed through and that cheese on top is nice and bubbly. All right, y'all, here are our enchiladas out of the oven. Look how delicious this looks. I did go ahead and broil the tops just for maybe 5 minutes. I kept a close eye on it. I like for my cheese to get a little brown bit action, whatever you call that, going on top. It is time to serve these up. And I'm gonna do about 2 as a serving. We'll try to get 2 in there. All right, y'all, I think these look so good. This is perfect for a quick meal. Did not take any time at all to make, under an hour, and have the whole thing done. All right, let's give it a taste test just to see just how good it is. Y'all, that is delicious. I mean, something so simple really does have a ton of flavor in there. And really you could mix these up with all kinds of different flavors, maybe add some other peppers in there. This pepper, by the way, those green chilies, it's not spicy at all. So you could even add some spice, add some hot sauce if you'd like, cayenne pepper. These are so good. I'm gonna have to go in for a second bite though. Love that Colby Jack cheese. It is perfect in this. And one thing too I like about it, there's no cream of chicken soup, no kind of cream of soups in here. We basically made our own with that little sauce, that little roux that we did. This is so good. And these low carb tortillas hold up perfectly in here. And by the way, last week I posted a whole entire what I eat in a day, trying to cut back on calories a little bit and things like that. So if you missed it, I'm gonna link it right here. I'll see y'all over there, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye, y'all.